We have 9 fire stations closed, had to relocate because when the power went out, they didn't have generators. Great cities do not operate like that. It's neglect, it's severe neglect, and we're going to fix it as we go forward. What in the world were people thinking about how they were using the ARP money?
Joining me live to talk about the path forward, Houston Mayor John Whitmire. Mayor, as you said at the top of our show, crisis has a way of revealing our weak spots. 6 months into office, what's your assessment of our weak spots?
Well, first of all, I want to ask Houstonians to pray for President Trump and the other casualties and victims in Burton, Pennsylvania. Great countries just don't operate that way. So our condolences out to President Trump's family and our local. We lost 3 individuals during Beryl. One, a Houston police officer, civil employee that was answering the call, Tier 1 employee during the storm. Now, I could get real angry this morning, but it's Sunday morning, and I'm going to try to realize that we're very blessed. We're blessed when we see some of the hardship of Houstonians and residents in our region. But I was asked to come from the legislature and run for mayor by Houstonians to fix Houston. And we're working long hours. I've put a great team together. We're holding people accountable. We're detecting and highlighting corruption, duplication, conflicts of interest. You report on them on a regular basis. We're trying to clean up City Hall. But during a storm, you find out your vulnerabilities. I knew we had bad drainage, bad streets, lack of public safety, shortage of officers and firefighters. But during a storm, and we've had 2 in my first 6 months, presidential declared disasters. We've had the Kingwood flood, Lakewood shooting. During this storm, I see how much work is still left to be done. You know, when I learned when we're creating cooling centers for people without power, and our multi-service centers, which we've sent folks to, do not have backup power. We have 12 multi-service centers with only 1 with a generator. But then it gets worse. When I'm informed by the fire chief that we have 10 stations without power that we had to close down and relocate firefighters and their apparatuses, I not only get frustrated, I get angry. But I could talk all morning about things that did work. The collaboration with the state. Governor Patrick, NIM Kidd with the emergency center found out that we were short of ambulances Wednesday. We got 25 sent to us from around the state. We got 100 additional police officers. I was with them last night to midnight, thanking them for being in Houston. But people don't want to hear about things that are necessarily working. They're angry, frustrated, and I join them. What we've got to do is have a plan of restoration of our electricity. Everything revolves around electricity. We've got 1,400 traffic lights out because of lack of energy. The multi-service centers, the fire stations. You know, we've got to get our priorities right. During the week, I was using as an example, the George Brown Convention Center had no backup power, but we had 1,500 FFA students across the street in the Hilton or Marriott waiting for their convention, but then up the street, the ballpark is all lit up. And I wasn't criticizing the Astros. I was going to Astros games when they were losing 100 games a season. I could have used Toyota, Dynamo, or any sports facility. They were all well equipped and had electricity, but I got fire stations that are out. Unacceptable. And we can fix this, and we will fix this. CenterPoint cannot be allowed to act like they're the only utility company in Houston. I was on the phone early, every day last week, holding their CEO accountable. Unacceptable. You've got to do more. And I understand Beryl was unpredictable. Hurricanes are unpredictable. Saturday morning in the emergency center, which the city was already operating, we were still being told by the National Weather Service that it was going to northern Mexico or South Texas. But you still have to be ready. We had all hands on deck over the weekend ready. Beryl came forward during the early mornings of Monday morning, and the city was prepared. We can always do better, and we will.
Hold that thought. We're going to have you another segment. Stay with us. We're talking more about the path forward with Mayor John Whitmire on the other side of this break.